white people have a right not to be replaced in the lands of their forefathers. And, ultimately, this is our house. This is the house of our forefathers. We built these places, we built these countries, we built this magnificent civilization. We have a right not to be replaced. But when we start saying that, you see so many whites either do one of two things. Number one, they react in absolute horror, as if, they've just seen the devil himself come out of the ground, or they act with, sort of, oh, well, I kind of know what you're thinking, but, it's so shameful to think this, and I've got to keep my head down because I don't want to lose my job, and I don't want to get called a racist. And these people who should be agreeing with us, they're so whipped, they're so cooked, they're so desperate not to be called a word. And that, to me, is something which I don't really understand, because I read so many historical accounts of our forefathers who literally risked death to free Europe from Islamic invasion. And you've got people now, we're not asking them to risk death, we're at worst asking them to run the gauntlet of being called a word. But it almost seems like they're more scared to be called racist than they are to see their children grow up as a minority. And this takes us back to, really, we've got to look at ourselves and say, seriously here, are we that scared? Are the mental chains that have been placed upon us so heavy and unbreakable that we are really going to bow our heads out of the fear of being called a racist? Now, for the record, I am not a racist. I don't hate anyone. I genuinely don't. Everyone's got their place in this world, and the world's a better place for genuine diversity. And genuine diversity means that there are Africans, that there are Latinos, that there are Chinese, Japanese, and Indians. But those people exist in their rightful place, which I'm afraid isn't in Europe, and it's not in North America. These are our countries, the Western world is ours, and I'm happy for the black man to flourish in Africa. I'm happy for the Indian to flourish in India, or for the Chinaman to flourish in China. The people who didn't build mighty castles, colosseums, aqueducts, and a wonderful civilization aren't going to come to the West and enrich a civilization that did build all those wonderful things.
Are you one of racists?
Racists? Mass killer Leon Trotsky invented that word in 1930 with his publication History of Russian Revolution, when he wrote, "Latest revelations of the racists." He killed 4 million people he thought were racists. So I ask you, since you use that word, are you mass murderer like Trotsky?